The internet is a crazy place. There is a lot of people sharing a lot of their life stories. Now, today, we're going to be looking at a very specific corner of the internet, my favorite corner of the internet, and this is the internet's most obvious lies. Now, when you're on the internet and you want to portray yourself as a certain kind of person, maybe you will fabricate things slightly. Edit a picture, exaggerate a story, but these lies today are just straight up not true and so obviously not true. Now don't forget, if you like this video, to subscribe, like the video, comment, and let me know what the biggest lie someone has told you is that you then found out very quickly was not the case. Okay, let's get into it. So the first one we have here today is someone talking about Little Yachty. Now, yes, you can laugh at how I say his name. I'm British. Please don't judge me. Okay, so this person says, my dad sat next to Little Yachty on the plane last night on the way home from Texas. Which could be true. I don't know why Little Yachty would be in economy for a plane, but could be true. But then Little Yachty quote tweeted it and said, no, he didn't. I've been at home, boy. I would have such... Firstly, that would be literally the most embarrassing day of my life if I lied about something. Because the thing is, this has multiple layers. The dad could have lied to the son or the daughter or their child. Or, and even worse, I would say, he thought it was Little Yachty, but it wasn't. Racist? No, I'm just kidding. But that's worse because now you've admitted your dad either assumed that the person of colour he was sitting next to was Little Yachty. And then there's a whole nother layer. What if it's you just lying and making up a story and then Little Yachty quote tweeting you? All three are possible. All three would make me want to actually leave the earth. So that's really funny. Obviously, not an obvious lie, but a lie that was proven wrong very quickly. Next, we have a more classic kind of layout for these kind of lies, which is a mum on normally Facebook who will exaggerate something that happened with their child. These are my least favorite because firstly, your 14th-month-old did not quote the national anthem, okay? Your 15-month-old did not say 15 Bible verses in 1 hour. Like, that is just not the case. It's not true. But let's see what this mum has to say about her amazing child. Yesterday, I was at an aquarium with my 3-year-old son. Okay, different because normally they put their age in months. So if this was a OG, a real bragger on Facebook, they would actually say that their child was 36 months old. So she's already not genuine. I already don't trust her. And we were looking at rare fish species. My son gave one of the fish a cookie, shouldn't do that, because he said they were hungry. You're also not allowed to feed the fish at an aquarium, but, you know, gentle parenting. The fish ate the cookie whole. Scary. The manager of the aquarium saw this and shouted at my son. One of the fish saw this and spit water in the manager's mouth, and everyone at the aquarium started clapping and the manager quit his job. Firstly, how wide open was this manager's mouth for a fish to maneuver a stream of water? Was he shouting at your son like this? Was he shouting at your son like that? Because if he wasn't doing that, there's something about this story that makes me kind of not believe you, honestly. I don't know what it would be. Also, how would you know he quit his job? Like, did they inform you? Was this event so egregious that they, like, contacted you afterwards and was like, don't worry, girl. Like, I know your son fed a whole Oreo to a fish, something a fish doesn't even eat. But don't worry, he quit his job, all is well. Claps for Karen in the chat. Claps for Karen in the chat. Who are you impressing with this kind of post, Karen? I'm going to assume Susan, Karen, whatever your name is. Who are you impressing? Because you're just going to get comments being like, why did your child feed a fish a cookie? Is your child an idiot? But also, why did you make a man quit his job? So I don't know what brownie points you think you're getting from this post? Very confused about it. Anyway, turns out the fish was underfed and the aquarium gave the fish to my son, owned by a 3-year-old. I think that aquarium needs to be shut down if they're giving a fish to a person that gave the fish a whole cookie. Firstly, definitely didn't happen. Secondly, normally they tell these stories and they make it sound like their child did something really good or really impressive or really smart, and you're an idiot. This whole thing is an idiot. You're an idiot. Next. So the incomparable Thomas Sanders, who, if you don't know who Thomas Sanders is, he's a YouTuber. He was on Vine. He makes like singing videos. Now he makes thirst trap TikToks or Instagram stories. No, Instagram videos. I don't know which one. I just know that sometimes he comes up on my page and he is like sandwiched in between multiple men. That's a very, very that's a very, very different path than what I knew him as growing up. But let's see what he said. So he posted a picture of a receipt, and at the bottom of the receipt it says, "Pretty sure this is the Vine guy that does awesome impressions." Oh yeah, he used to do impressions on Vine. But what he forgot to crop out was right on top of that it says delivery instructions, which, if you don't know how a delivery app works, you put delivery instructions to the driver or the store to like take out ingredients or to add sauce or like anything that you want extra with your order. So what he's actually done, and what someone's pointed out here, is that he's put in himself this sentence, which is so embarrassing and like so funny and iconic of him. And like if it was anyone else, I would have been like, that's so embarrassing. But Thomas Sanders is so very clearly like millennial on the internet, and I'm like kind of obsessed with his vibe overall, and I think this is so funny. Very embarrassing for him, obviously a lie, but so funny. I love you, Thomas. Okay, the next one says, LMAO, one time in high school I snuck in my boyfriend and my mum decided to be sick for 4 days and I could not sneak him back out, so I had him hidden in my closet and had to feed him Oreos for 4 days. Firstly, you could have stuck him out at any time. If your mum was sick, she was probably in her room or on the couch. You could have distracted her. He could have gone out the window. So many possibilities for that. Secondly, unless you shared a room with your mum, which would have been crazy to keep your boyfriend in the closet with your mum in the room for 4 days. Secondly, you only gave him Oreos, girl. What is your mum feeding you at home? Why is Oreos the only spare snack or food that you can give to him? You can pretend to make yourself a big dinner and then half it with him. Firstly, a lie. Secondly, like, even if it wasn't a lie, that's a crazy thing to do to someone that's locked in your cupboard, that's locked in your closet. Oreos for 4 days. Now listen, I'm a savoury girly. I'm not the biggest sweet treat fan. I will have a little sweet treat, but it's not really my go-to. But if someone offered me just Oreos while they locked me in their closet for 4 days. Now listen, I'm not saying I don't want to be locked in someone's closet for 4 days. You don't know my life. But Oreos on the menu, I'd be upset. I would. That's the part I would be upset about. Also, it didn't happen because there's like 1,000 ways you could have got him out your house. But I'd be upset about the Oreos more than anything. Okay, next we have a title that says, didn't peak in high school, which means this is going to be the most annoying post I've ever read on the internet. Let's get into it. Older DJ here. Already hate it. Already the worst person in the world. I was DJing my 25th high school reunion. Oh, you can waterboard that information out of me. Oh my god. The class president came up and said, you really need to play insert indie BS here. Who wants to bet it was Mr. Brightside? Anyone? Anyone? Mr. Brightside? Listen, I don't know. This is probably, I mean, it's not probably. This is definitely American. Older DJ, 25th high school reunion. I get the vibe. But in the UK, we really take Mr. Brightside seriously. It comes on in every single club I've been to from the ages of 18 until now in the UK. Every club I've been to, every night out I've been on, Mr. Brightside has played at least twice every single time. Not an exaggeration, at least twice every single night. People love it. It's like Sweet Caroline or like Country Road. Like, it's an American song that British people just eat up for some reason. I don't know why we love it. I don't know why we love Mormon rock music so much. But yes, it was probably Mr. Brightside. If this was the UK, it's definitely Mr. Brightside. Let's carry on. It's new. It will get the crowd going. Okay, so not Mr. Brightside. So I mixed it in and the crowd stopped and stared. I got on the mic and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is a request from your class president. Show some respect." They booed him. I swapped the song and got the floor jumping again. Firstly, saying the term jumping in this day and age is so funny. Secondly, didn't happen. Thirdly, even if it did happen, why would you publicly embarrass someone like that? Fourthly, I looked over at him and said, "Some of us didn't peak in high school." Peak spelt wrong. He walked away salty AF. You're an adult DJ and the gigs you're playing are your 25th year high school reunion. I don't think you have any say in publicly embarrassing someone because you publicly embarrass yourself every day. Thank you, Tom. I'm going to assume his name's Tom. Thank you, Tom. Moving on. So it's a screenshot of a TikTok and it's this girl. We've blurred out her face. Don't know who it is. Maybe she's super famous. Don't know. But she says, "I just watched a guy at Starbucks go to pay for his drink with his phone, and when he unlocks it, one of my Insta photos was his lock screen." Firstly, if it was Apple Pay, he wouldn't have to unlock his phone, so that screams untrue to me. Secondly, unless this is like Taylor Swift, unless this is like, unless this is like Charlie D'Amelio for some reason, I very, very much doubt it. Firstly, why were you looking at his phone? Strange. Secondly, he wouldn't have to unlock his phone to pay. Thirdly, why would you be his lock screen on the inside of his phone? Who are you? If someone can comment down below who this person is, and they were like a considerable TikToker, I wouldn't even believe it then. Even a famous person told me that. Because realistically, how many famous people do you guys have as your lock screen? Even if they're like Beyonce, Jay-Z, like probably some people, but not enough where you and this person are in a Starbucks at the same time and they just so happen to have you, a TikToker, as their lock screen. Let's be so for real. Let's who do you think I am? I am not a fool. Who do you think I am? Who do you think the internet is? They do not believe this. I do not believe this. Moving on. Next, we have a tweet from Chris. Hi, Chris. And he said, "Thinking about in 7th grade when I got escorted to the police station after school because they found out I was prank calling local businesses as Ricky Peepee." Hilarious name, Chris. Claps for you. "And when I walked in, the officer who was waiting there with my mum to talk to me said, 'If it isn't Ricky Peepee,'" I actually believe this 100% happened. That's so... Oh, Ricky Peepee is sending me. Ricky Peepee, I don't know why it's so funny. It's so stupid, but like, Ricky Peepee is so funny, and that police officer has such a funny sense of humour, and I definitely believe this happened. This is not one that I'm like out of the realms of possibility. I'm pretty certain this happened to you, Ricky Peepee. Chris Ricky Peepee Donis, I'm pretty sure this happened to you. And the fact that your Twitter handle is not Ricky Peepee, you're kind of missing an opportunity. You're missing the mark on comedy. If I don't see your name being at Ricky Peepee by tonight, I will be very, very, very strongly disappointed in you. Moving on, Mum says, "Yesterday, when I was at the store with my 16-month-old, the guy in front of me was checking out and says, 'Wow, she is so cognitive. I bet she's 2.5 years old.' No, she's 16 months old," which is 1 year, 4 months. For any mathematicians in the chat. How did I do? His response, "Well, she's really advanced for her age." Me again. Nope, she's just not vaccinated. Wow, oh my god, who would have assumed that the lady that refers to her 1-year-old as a 16-month-old does not believe in vaccinations? Who would have believed that? You, everyone. Everyone. Because if there's one thing you can count on with a lady that refers to her child as an 18th, 16th, 27th month old, on her profile will also be anti-vax stuff. I don't know why it's a correlation. I don't know what the correlation is between referring to your child in months and being uneducated is. But they're very close. They're very close together. Okay guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you for joining me on this journey of the internet's most obvious lies. If you did like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!